Turn the knob again.
There, got it.
Nice job, Sam. Those knob-turning exercises are finally paying off.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Hello, Travis?
No, this is Patrick. I mean, Frank. Travis is here, though.
Great. The storm looks like it's clearing up. I can see a big red glowing thing in the distance.
That's the tower. Keep flying in that direction.
I'm going to need to clear an area to land on. And what's that?
Shit, we lost him again.
But at least we know it's close. What do we do next?
Welcome to another episode of Strangers in the Alps, a slasher podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Travis.
Sam.
And I'm Frank.
And this week we watched X.
And what's your what
Slasher porn.
what kind of podcast? What do we do? You got your little speech you gave at the beginning of every episode.
Oh, I don't know what that is. It's
Where we ramble on.
We have a really in-depth conversation about these slasher movies with a lot of sort of general rambling to be attached to it. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of rambling fun.
Enjoy yourself, just have fun. So sometimes we get sidetracked a little bit.
If Travis says to enjoy yourself, I'm not doing it. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't do anything Travis says. Before we get into the movie we watched this week, let's get into what we did this week. Travis, what's happening, buddy?
Well,
Wait. What is? Does this segment have a name? Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to the
no,
movie
Sam
yet?
has a name for it.
No.
I have a new name.
a
Stop. No,
I have a
been
name.
revoked.
No. I don't get to sing anymore?
No, because this is better.
Okay,
It's-
I'll get a song out of this, though.
It's a wowdy ketchup.
Welcome to a Wowdy Catch-Up.
Wowdy
It's a
ketchup.
wowdy?
It's a
It's a
wowdy
wowdy-
It's a
ketchup.
wowdy ketchup. Oh, that's so nice. Shh, be very, very quiet. We're doing a wowdy ketchup.
I don't want to live anymore.
Okay, who have we offended here?
Babies.
Most people.
People talk like this. It's a wowdy ketchup.
All right.
All right. Let's
Why do you insist on making that
wowdy
face?
Ketchup. A wowdy ketchup. It's a ketchup that gets wowdy. Okay,
Bugs Bunny is
welcome to
offended.
another episode.
let's do it.
It almost sounds like you're trying to like it's a really bad Alanis Morissette impression.
Stop.
Like I'm here to remind you.
And I'm here now.
To remind you.
That it's a wowdy ketchup.
It sounds like you sucked out a balloon.
It does a little bit.
Like helium, not a balloon. All
there you go, look.
Dan,
So what did we do?
You already got us laughing. So I hear you had an interaction with a skunk.
Oh, I got a skunk. I got a skunk story,
And
And
it's
I-
not my jokes.
and I'm gonna make it way shorter than it should be.
That's what she said.
I'm sorry. So, long story short, we've had skunks showing up in
we
our
have a skunk.
garden, in our neighbor's garden, and my back neighbor's garden, and we figured out that they are actually living under our house. Yes.
That's awkward.
Through
See,
the
it's
crawl
when you
space
started-
under our house. I won't go through all the details of how I figured it out, but just say I saw diggings that led me to the crawl space under our house.
It's because you started remodeling the cabin. And you let him out.
I think remodeling may have something to do with it. So I called the happy, friendly pest control people who set traps that catch the skunks and then they release them into the wild. So last Friday, they set the traps. And Friday evening, Jeremy and I are in the kitchen and we're having a little dinner. And all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, do you smell what I smell?
Oh.
Yeah, that smells like skunk. I walk outside and we had trapped one. And I guess it sprayed when it happened. And it just kind of got into our...
We got one.
How long
So
did it
we had
stay
to
in the
open
house?
windows. I mean, maybe 15, 20 minutes. It wasn't
Oh.
like so intense like if it...
Like when you went
And,
camping.
and then the next morning Oh,
You looked at me and smiled.
Intense.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, we caught another one. So we caught 2, and they took them away. They set 2 more traps that are sitting outside our cabin right now. So far, no catches, but I guess the possibility of while we're doing this podcast, we might all go, whoa, hey, Travis, what did you just pass?
Are we going to hear like a ding ding, like a bell when one gets caught?
Ding, ding.
Ding ding, we got one.
What is
Hey,
this?
what happened in here?
What does it smell like?
Burnt rubber.
Oh, have you never smelled skunk?
No.
Well, I hope it happens tonight. Then
I
you'll be able
really
to
hope
check
not.
that off.
We should
your-
have like a
Oh, it's
scratch.
awful.
We should
It's
have
a very distinct smell. You'll know.
Yeah, it can't. It's
It's
not even like
putrid.
BO or dirty socks or. It's like every bad smell you can imagine combined into one bad smell.
It defies description.
It really
defies
does.
description.
But
Yeah.
there's no mistaking it. It's like once you smell skunk,
You'll always know.
always know that's skunk.
For
Nothing
all-
smells like skunk.
For all you listeners at home,
personal.
please now go to your local 7-Eleven or Circle K, buy the Satellite 12 Scratch and Sniff. And there's
Is it skunk?
Yeah, it's the skunk one. This is now sticker number 4. This is a Scratch and Sniff episode.
We should do a Roger Garland like skunk defunk kind of thing.
skunk defunct.
That's a great idea.
Skunk defunct.
Roger
You thought
Garland
that-
That's
skunk
it.
Skunk
That's,
defunct.
a,
like that,
that's,
huh?
a,
Yeah.
that's a Red Hot Chili Peppers song. Skunk defunct.
don't-
And it sounds
Don't.
just like every other
kidding.
Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Is it about California? Skunks in California.
Californication.
Exactly.
So it looks like you've had a smelly week.
Yeah, this week stunk. Like a skunk.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So that was mine. I have another story, but I'll save it. Keep going.
I
I mean, not keep
no,
going. I mean, Travis,
did,
what did you do?
I did a couple
Start
things.
going.
I had seen a couple. I got seen a trailer for this movie. Initially, I was like, you know what? This film looks like it might be kind of fun. I'm probably never gonna watch it. Saturday, Jennifer and I, we wake up. We're like, let's go watch a movie. Well, we don't really. We already saw Guardians. We don't. So we ended up watching the Blackberry movie. We loved it.
Which is playing in like one
It's
theater in
playing in
America.
400 theaters. Our theater was full. Like every
I was
theater
gonna
we
say
were.
our theater was 400.
No, it was actually a really good movie. Dan
Was it funny?
Sandberg. It's funny. Like it's like the audience. We were all into it the whole time. And you know what the best part is, Dan? It's under 2 hours.
That's incredible.
Yes, it's a very well made movie all around. I highly recommend it.
But, sorry, who's in it again? Remind
It's
me.
Jay Baruchel.
Is that the guy that was in This Is the End? or
Yeah.
did-
Yes, and he was also in How to Train Your Dragon. He played the voice of Hiccup. He was
Oh, okay.
also
Okay.
he's been in a couple things. It's also to the actor that plays Dennis from It's Always Sunny, Glenn
Right.
Howerton.
Glenn Howerton.
Howerton.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep thinking there's a V in there.
Carrie Elwes is also in it.
Yeah,
apparently.
Carrie. He's in it for a
Oh,
little
Carrie.
bit. He has like his in it a little bit. It's so is Michael Ironside is in it for a little bit. It's good. I think you should all watch it.
Any slashing going on in it?
Yes, some friendships. You know, they're cell phone companies, so they're slashing the competition. You know, you're gonna get all good
Interest lost.
deals.
Oh, so we
You
can add
lost
that
me.
to our movie list. Sam, what have you done over the last week?
How
Travis
many
and
crimes?
I can't talk about that right now.
Okay.
Travis and I went to a movie premiere.
Yes, we did at the Academy Theater.
It was a really great movie.
Sounds kind of gay.
It's a movie that I know y'all have heard of. It made hundreds and
Okay.
it made hundreds of
Hundreds.
millions of dollars.
No, hundreds of dollars?
It's the most perfect movie on Rotten. It actually has 101% on Rotten Tomatoes.
He's saying a lot of bullshit right
Knights
now.
of the Zodiac.
Never heard of it.
Exactly.
No one did.
Oh,
See, I told you.
I know. Yeah,
I knew Frank would.
Yeah.
Frank, you know the anime, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It-
Yes, I didn't know it was happening until I saw a trailer a couple of weeks ago.
It's already out.
Is it?
Yeah.
It just got pulled
course.
from a lot of theaters at the last second.
Of course
Some
it did.
people were like, "Hey, what happened to my showtime? I had tickets."
How
It was
was
fine.
It's okay.
it? Is it aggressively mediocre or
Yeah.
is it?
Well, that's the
okay.
thing.
The
It's-
fight scenes were good, and that's about it.
That's what it looked like. I was surprised to see Famke Jensen was in it.
And,
I felt like
and,
and Sean Bond.
no, and Sean Bean. So we got a little GoldenEye reunion.
These sound like
Nice.
made-up names. Are these actually real
yeah,
people?
Sean Bean and Famke Johnson.
It's Famke.
Jansen.
I love how he just repeats it. Yeah,
No,
you don't
but-
get it.
Okay,
If I
Frank.
say it again, it must
yeah,
be
Sean
true.
Bean.
The best way. So you know
him.
he'll
Oh, that's
die-
Sean Bean.
So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you know he's gonna die in it because Sean Bean's in it.
They just
He
ruined it.
dies in every movie.
What? Name
Yeah,
another
there
movie.
was one movie he
He
didn't
was in
die in, but now
GoldenEye.
you've
He was in
ruined
Lord
it.
of the Rings.
He was in GoldenEye.
He was the villain in GoldenEye. Sean Bean.
okay.
Trevelyan.
I've got to
yeah.
know who he is then. I saw
So-
GoldenEye.
I feel like if you see him, you'll know.
Oh,
Hold on.
you've seen
I look-
Goldeneye? He's the villain in Goldeneye.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
It's
It's
so
the
much
Sean
better
Bean.
when it
It's
gets
the villain in
repeated.
GoldenEye.
Who's the bad guy in the new Indiana Jones movie? He's always bad guys too.
James
Mads Mikkelsen. Right, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see Sean Bean's picture.
Not Mr. Bean. Not to
I
be
actually
confused.
do not recognize that guy.
Really? Okay, hold on. Hold, please.
Because it's not on the floor dying. Frank, the best way I
Funny.
can put it, this is me being. Well, it also has Nick Stahl in it, which I thought his career kind of
Did you
stalled.
watch Lord of the Rings?
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
thought.
okay, I know who that is.
But no,
Sean
okay,
Bean.
See the beard and the long hair.
Sean Bean.
the night it's Sean Bean, villain in GoldenEye. the best way I can put the movie. I'm being as nice as I can. Is the script good? No, not really. But the direction, the people behind it, you can tell they really tried. They didn't like half-ass it. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna fully commit. I can. They tried to
It
do the
looks
best
nice.
they could
It looks
with the
nice.
material,
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
and that's all I've got to say about
Yeah.
that.
But I
'Cause-
think they tried. I don't think anybody sets out to make a bad movie.
No,
but
but-
everybody tries.
Well, but in this
Right?
one,
Yeah.
well, I mean, but
I'm not sure that's a real
but
compliment to a
it's-
movie.
No, there is, because sometimes you watch a movie and you can just tell
You
they're
can
like,
tell
yeah,
that it's
like
phoned
halfway,
in,
or
yeah.
sometimes you can just tell they're just faking
But isn't
it.
that usually like more big budget movies where you kind of go, oh, this guy wasn't
They're
into
phoning it in. You
Yeah.
know?
Not
I think
little
it's
movies.
most apparent. Yeah. But this was. So it's based off of an anime,
Okay.
which is actually very big in like Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
It has a very big following in Latin America. Yeah. Jose knew about it, and
Oh,
I was like, "What? Really?
you should take him.
That's cool. I think I will."
Well, does
Um,
is oh sorry.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Is-
Maybe it'll be successful.
Is Jose
internationally.
familiar
Yeah.
though with like the most current run?
No.
Of Nazi- because I think that's what this one I think is like based off the most current one. I didn't know it's not
I
from
didn't
the
even
one
know
in
it
the
was
80s.
a non-current
It's
one.
been going. It's been going on for years.
Anyway, we're spending too much time on this movie. I also watched The Fly for the first time
Ooh, the
in its
the
entirety.
Jeff
Jeff
Goldblum,
Goldblum.
fly.
I loved it.
Life finds a way.
I can see that. I can totally see that. I have not seen it
She
since it
literally
came out.
saw it.
I literally saw
I remember it just creeped the crap out of me.
it. Sean Bean was in it.
Was he?
He was the villain in GoldenEye.
He was the
Damn.
Fly.
Yeah, it's so much better than the original with Vincent Price.
Help me! Help
Yeah,
me!
that one is so that's so corny at the end.
Speaking of Vincent,
All right, this has been very rowdy.
Well,
It has.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What, how about you, Frank? What have you been doing?
oh, nothing. Just getting my teeth pulled. That's
Tell
all.
us about it.
So,
Tell us about it, Frank.
Tell me about it, stud.
I got chills.
and that's it.
That's the only part I know.
And they're electrifying.
So-
and
I
I'm
don't think so.
losing my
Multiply
tooth.
it.
Multiplying, and I'm losing my tooth. I don't
Please
know.
go. Please
I would
talk.
love to.
Don't
but
let
we
me
have
talk.
to finish this one.
That's what they said about his tooth. Just let it go.
Did they Novocaine you and
No, they just
and
pulled it
refill
straight
you?
out.
Oh, they pulled
I'm
the
just
tooth
They guessed
No, they
out.
did, yeah.
of your head.
Yeah.
Are they
so,
giving you a little crown action?
Not yet. So, I thought the tooth could be saved, and they said no. Oh no.
Sweetheart, no.
Oh honey.
But you're gonna get a crown? Is that the?
Yeah, I'm gonna get. I have to wait for the bone graft to heal. So right now,
That just sounds awful.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I'm glad I'm
great.
not you right now, Frank.
yeah, I've been in pain for several days. No, it's actually healing pretty well.
When do you have to go back?
Thursday.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's not that far off.
Yeah, so by the
He's
time
gonna
this
go-
episode airs,
He's gonna go back.
You're
To,
good.
I will
Brand
be
new.
in. Yeah. Well, hopefully.
he's gonna go to Dental Land, the fun place to go to the
Get your
dentist.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and your Xbox and your
Oh,
GameCube.
you guys just unlocked memories.
Oh, are
Hey,
you still
Dan,
collecting
They
stuff?
didn't use
Or are you
Novocaine.
still-
They
okay.
used Yesicaine.
I haven't seen you post stuff on.
yeah, I
They
go in
didn't
and out.
use Novocaine. They used.
Yesicaine.
Yeah, I thought that was worth repeating.
I love that he told me this off mic, and I didn't give him the reaction.
Who's Mike?
I will stab you with this mic. And
There
then he
you
didn't
go.
get the same reaction, so he told me I had to talk to you about it.
I have to sometimes.
I
don't
think if
know.
you say the joke twice, Travis thinks it makes it twice
it's like
as funny.
Beetlejuice.
It's like if you say it louder.
It'll make sense.
Yeah.
It gets
Can you
funnier.
say it?
Sorry, I'm a woman. I don't get it.
Huh?
Don't. I'm not. endorsing that. I do
I'm
not.
not going to mansplain this to you all over again.
All right, so everyone, it's been a wowie catch up.
I have another story, but I'm going to save it for next week.
Elmer Fudd.
I'll just give you a little heads up. It has to do with the Russo brothers.
Heads up, 7-Up.
Oh, did you watch?
I have a Russo brothers story,
Did you watch
but we'll
Ghosted?
save it.
All
Is
right.
it good or is it bad?
It's cool.
Find out next
Oh,
week.
okay, that's cool.
Last time on Rowdy Catch Up.
No. Howdy Ketchup.
Stop it.
On Wowdy Ketchup.
Howdy, Catcher.
Howdy Ketchup.
All right, bye.
So we saw X,
Yes, we
2020.
and I
22.
would love to go around and do our pre-thoughts. What did we think about X before we saw X, Travis?
I didn't even know it existed until Sam said.
existed?
Yeah, it existed.
Existed.
Existends.
Existed.
I didn't know it existed until I think I'd maybe seen the name a little bit, but I know we've talked about this a lot. Sam, we rented out a theater for her birthday, and we watched X. So Sam's like, I want to see X. So I didn't know much about it, what it was at all. So I didn't look it up. I was just like, all right, let's go watch this movie.
The true Travis way.
Yeah.
And when was your birthday, Sam?
It was March 19th. This was last year.
last year.
2022.
Yeah. So.
So you guys saw a private screening?
They did this thing where, like, after COVID, they want to get more money or for safety.
Yeah, do you remember COVID, Dan?
I don't want to remember that.
They let you rent out a theater for yourself at a certain price, and you can just screen.
Up to
A list
30
of movies,
people
yeah.
or something like that.
Cool.
Yes.
So you guys watched X. So what was your pre-thoughts of the
Are you
movie?
done with yours?
Sam said, I want to see this. Yes, I'm done.
He'll tell you my pre-thoughts. I was very excited because it's A24, and then I saw the trailer, and it reminded me very much of Texas Chainsaw, so that whole vibe, I was really intrigued, and I wanted to know where they were going to go with that.
Listen to our episode.
And then I knew of Ty West because of the director, because of House of the Devil, and he did a section on VHS, which I also loved, so I knew I was in good hands. So overall, I was excited.
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
I also saw the trailer. Came on as a surprise before movie. I don't remember which movie it was, but I remember thinking the exact same thing. It gave
It was
Texas
Free Guy.
Chainsaw. It gave Texas Chainsaw vibes, which I really liked. And it had like a really nice like vintage texture to
Gritty,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I
very
love that
gritty.
look. So I was very excited. And then the trailer itself is like really well cut. The music accompanying it is really, really good, really fitting. So overall, I was very excited. And then the premise itself, like, I mean, you don't get too many porn slashers.
No.
So
Not now.
No.
Back then.
Slasher?
Back then, yeah.
Slasher?
Back
I don't
then.
even know her.
Dan, what about you? What were your pre-thoughts
When I first heard about this movie, which was actually
a week ago?
when you told us we're going to watch this movie, which is how I see most of these movies, I put out in our text chain, wow, X, sounds like a slasher porn. I got a response from Frank with exclamations, yes!
I was just trying to bring up that
So
text.
I went into it thinking, all right, going to be a lot of sex, going to be a lot of blood slashing. And there was a lot of one, for
Yeah.
A
sure.
lot of two.
For sure.
I mean,
There was a little bit of two.
there was a little
But a
bit of
lot
two,
more
but
one.
definitely a lot more of one.
That's an
And,
understatement.
But we'll get into all that as we break the
With-
movie down. But yeah, my pre-thought was when Frank responded yes, exclamation, I went, okay,
no.
I'm definitely interested in seeing this movie. I just hope, as I responded saying, sounds going to be as gross and gruesome, I just hope it's not too gross and gruesome because I don't know.
We've been messing you up, man.
You've
Yeah.
been messing me up, man. So those were my pre-thoughts.
The
I
transformation
was
is
just gonna
almost
go.
complete.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just-
We do need a log line,
I was just
probably,
I
or a
was just gonna
summary
go
of some kind.
with that being said though, with like Sam, because I found out too when the credits came on Ty West, this might kind of made me want to like reevaluate my opinions on Ty West. Because I had never seen The Innkeepers. I have never seen I had seen VHS, but actually I think his segment is my least favorite
And
one.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a very popular opinion that it's the
Yeah.
least favorite, but it's one of my favorites.
Well, Jennifer really likes it too.
Yeah.
It's probably my least favorite, and the only thing I know he did other than that, which he actually like took his name off, and it went Alan Smithy, was Cabin Fever 2 Spring. So I was like, So if I'm kind of glad I didn't know, and now I mean I still haven't seen it. I still want to. Well, having seen now X and Pearl, like I don't know. I keep saying I want to go back and watch his other films because I hear The Innkeepers is very good.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I read the log line?
Log line?
Read it,
Yeah.
but like
movie?
in a with an accent.
Read it like a 70s movie trailer.
Oh no,
Horror
I was
movie.
thinking more like a
Pick an accent.
Like
Like
a
the
foreign
southern-
accent.
oh.
Wait, what?
Like a Texas accent? I
Yeah.
go to Texas because I live
Well
there.
cut.
Texas porno.
Okay, here we go.
Well cut.
A group of actors sets out to make an adult film in rural Texas under the noses of their reclusive hosts. But when the elderly couple catches their young guests in the act, the cast finds themselves in a desperate fight for their lives. Hoo-ha!
It's better to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission.
There you go.
You know what
Hey,
it reminds
brother.
me of? When we're waiting in line at Indiana Jones.
Or Thunder Mountain. This is the
Thunder
wildest
Mountain.
ride in the West.
Thunder Mountain. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting on a
This is
ride.
the
There we go. And
You
it,
know-
it
no.
was a ride, let me
It was
tell
a
you.
ride.
I can give you a ride.
Ooh.
No, Dan,
Okay.
you got to be like, please
Do
keep
you have
all hands,
insurance?
and, all hands and feet.
I'm,
in
Jen,
done- I'm
come
done
get
with
your
the log
man.
line. So that's what it's about, and I think that pretty much covers it really clearly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
I don't
So-
think we have to go campfire
Yes.
story in
I
this
think
one.
we can just rock this thing. I mean, let's talk about how we. I mean, I can start as far as how as it kind of unfolded the movie.
Yeah, I wrote down like sentences for acts. So,
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah, let's do that.
then.
Okay,
we don't
cool.
need to campfire it.
Yeah, you need it. You
I
can
don't even
sit
know
down.
what that means, by the way.
Like a campfire
For a
story.
story.
How in on some previous episodes we were going like scene
Shot
by
for
scene.
shot.
We are not.
Yeah, that's what I said, we're
we
not-
do not
Yeah.
need
That's
to
what I
go
said. We're
see.
not doing that with this
Screw it.
one.
We'll campfire it live. Jesus, that's loud.
But
That's what she said.
all right,
She's faking it. There you go.
I'm a good actress.
All right. It was in 1979. 6 young adults set out on a road trip in Texas to a farmhouse to film a porno secretly. The farmhouse is owned by an elderly couple. Husband claims wife is sick, so they need to be kind of quiet and just be aware of what they're doing. And then we find out that the wife has a sick obsession with one of the actresses. Her name's Maxine, played by Mia Goth.
And the older
McLean.
lady.
Maxine.
Was also played by
Yeah.
Mia Goth.
Maxine.
She's got metropolitan
Pearl.
taste, y'all.
Yeah, Pearl was also played by Mia Goth.
We don't know it's Pearl yet, so thank you for ruining that.
We don't know her name.
No, we don't.
Well,
I-
they don't know what that means.
So can we jump into sort of our
Yeah.
Yes,
journey
jump
into
in.
sort of the opening? I was like, well, first of all, I didn't mention this earlier, so I'd like to say I was really engaged when I saw the opening titles and saw A24 had produced this. So that immediately raised my level of interest in the movie. My first take, and we've already kind of slightly discussed this, not only does it feel like Texas Chainsaw, but the first few sequences were literally modeled off of Texas Chainsaw. You're
Yeah.
in a van. You're driving across Texas. You stop at a gas station. I mean, it had very similar scene by scene story
Even the house.
movements.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
the
At the very
aesthetic
first
of-
shot, when you see that house, you're going, "Oh, Texas Chainsaw." And I'm not saying that as I don't think that's a criticism. I think
No.
that's a absolutely.
It's a nice
'Cause it
homage.
does-
It's a
Doesn't-
nice
yeah.
homage and very much on purpose.
Yeah, it's not a rip-off like
Right.
you're saying.
No,
It's
it
an
was
homage.
meant to be, for
But,
sure.
Dan, even I fell in love with the opening too because I think it's probably one of the best uses of like an aspect ratio change I've ever seen in my life. How it looks like it's a 4:3 film, and then it kind of starts to zoom out more, and then you see there was bars on the side because it was the barn
Right.
doors, and then it goes 239.
It's the framing.
Yeah,
I
the
think
framing-
it's all throughout too. Not the aspect
yeah.
stuff, but like the how he framed the shots. I think it's very smart.
Yeah, because it tells you too. It's like, hey, this is like
The focal
set during
point,
this
yeah.
is set during this time.
Yeah.
We're gonna homage this, but it's like we're in a modern film. I think it like I don't want to like slander like Rob Zombie, but I feel
You
like
can, it's fine.
I feel like with this film, even in the first like opening, like the opening like 5 minutes, I feel like it really captures what Rob Zombie has tried to do with all his movies, like try to create one of those, like, hey, this is one of like I would say like a B movie, super low budget that was maybe screened at drive-ins. It was maybe screened in like people's basements,
Grindhouse.
like Grindhouse, very much. You know, it was never got a public release and kind of, you know, a little trashy. I feel like Ty West just captured that within the first 5 minutes, and Rob Zombie's done like 10 movies and.
I also feel like, and going along with what you're saying, I feel like that the movie looks like it was actually made in the 70s. Not like it's about the 70s,
Exactly.
but looks like that's when they shot it.
Yeah.
I think that whole opening sequence with the police being in the house, the way they shot it, of course, the worst thing is always in the cellar.
Yeah.
And, you know, they go down and you see their sort of their reaction. Of course, we're all going, oh, well, I guess we're going to see the other side of this shot by the end of the movie.
I feel like with that, so the police comes in and it's bloody bodies all throughout the house, and then go into the cellar, and then they're like, holy shit, and you don't know. I think that set up such high stakes
Yeah.
of what's going to happen that I feel like with everybody here, it kind of keeps you interested, and you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
And
I think you're right.
you just want to keep going. You don't, you know.
And
that
it's-
sets
and it's-
up
and it-
why you stay with the movie, because
Exactly.
you know things are going to get bad because
Exactly.
they showed
And
you.
you're nosy, so it's like, I
No,
want to
and
know how
that's
they
the
died.
thing too, is there's no faces being shown. You don't know who's who, and it doesn't do that thing where like some movies do, where it'll like show the death of a character, and you hear like like you hear like a scream.
Yeah.
It'll give like a quick like 2-second glance.
Yeah.
Of like what happened. It's like no, you don't.
And that also sets up it being creepy or
Yeah.
scary because you don't know.
It's there's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
how did
because
that
you know it
happen?
ends bad. So
Right.
as they show up to the house, as all the story unfolds, you know this is all going to end really bad.
Yeah.
You just don't know for who.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't know. It's like, was this a break-in? Was it some people? You know, you don't. There's no context whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
to add to that, I don't want to jump ahead too far, but I think it should be pointed out that there's like 50 minutes of movie before stuff goes really
Yeah.
off the wall. Like there's a movie in here. It's not just like this is
A
a
slasher.
slasher or this is like a soft core porn. Like it's a movie.
And there's a movie within that
It's,
movie.
it's what Travis would say, a slow burn.
It is.
Yes,
It
but not
is.
too slow.
No.
Well,
because
I
doesn't
think
feel
'cause
that way
you're
anyway.
Very edgy. It's very edgy. The entire movie has I'm very uncomfortable watching
And
this
yeah.
movie. But I, like you, I don't know if you did, but when the first real kill happened, I actually paused to see how far we were into the movie, because I was just curious, because I felt like, wow, we were really deep into this movie before it unleashes.
Yeah,
I think also because like the topic of sex is so taboo back
Yeah.
in like the 70s as well. So
Yeah.
taboos. So you just like you just want to know also where it could go and how interesting it was.
Right.
you mean how far it can go?
Well, yeah, because you even have them when
Or
they're
how deep it could
when they're
go.
in the like when they're at the gas station, like paying for gas and getting the snacks. Even like the director is like, hey, like, you know, we got to be careful. We can't talk about sex. You know how people get weird like with pornos over here. Then the shop clerk is kind of looking over like, get out of my.
I also liked how they talked about how they were right on the edge of going to where it's all going to be a home video. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
were aware that, you know, we're going to get out of the movie theaters and into people's houses.
Yeah.
And once
Yeah.
that happens,
all the
we're all going to
pervs.
make tons of
yeah,
money.
It's not just for the perverts anymore.
Exactly.
And speaking of that, Dan, we also had another Scream 6 reunion in
We
this
sure
movie
did.
with
Boom.
Jenna Ortega.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Who I have to say I thought was going to be the survivor. Final
Final girl.
Final
Thank
girl.
you. Sorry, I'm always going to get this
What
wrong.
was it?
I
And-
thought she would be the final girl because I thought she was kind of the virgin girl.
Yeah, they were kind of setting that up
I
in the
thought for
beginning. yeah.
sure she'd be the one.
What did they call her in
Well, that
Leslie
didn't work
Vernon?
out.
What did they call him in Leslie Vernon?
Survivor girl.
Survivor girl.
Don't trigger me like this.
The final girl. Yeah, I thought she was
Thank
going to
you.
be it.
But it's
Because I figured the cocaine snorting girl at the beginning. Oh, you're going down.
Maxine. Yeah.
Yeah.
little did you know.
Can't snort cocaine in a porn movie with
Well,
flashing
But you
going
can
on.
try. Wait, what?
Well, they even have
Says what?
What? Who?
Asphincter says what?
Sorry, hang on.
I like that they had like the character tropes. You got like the virgin, quote unquote, the jock, which I think was Kid Cudi in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but also the Wayne, the director.
Yeah.
And then you got the Randy of it all, which was the cameraman.
Yeah.
Who was I don't like him.
The nerd.
Sam.
The nerd.
Okay, I'm
not done with my
I'm
thing.
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you
He
have
was
all
done
these.
with it.
Yeah. So you have all these tropes, but at the same time, they don't, or Ty West didn't go with the blueprint of it. He just used those as a setup so that you're kind of enticed, but then he just kind of did his own thing.
Flipped it on its head.
Exactly. Head.
Yeah. Get it?
Yeah. So Sam,
What were you gonna say, sorry?
Keep in mind, Sam and I, when we went, we had our own theater run it out, so it got a little
I think he's
Awkward.
It got a little rowdy in there, so we were kind of talking. Tell me why one of our friends, as soon as JR is going on screen, is talking about, oh, I'm going to make this a film. This is going to be... Our friend looks over and goes, he goes, that guy reminds me of Travis. So throughout the whole movie, whenever he was on screen, it's the camera guy with the glasses.
That guy does remind me of
Right.
Travis.
See, everyone kept saying that the entire movie.
It's true though. I remember I kind of whispered. I think was it
You did not whisper.
Can you wait?
I know.
Was it who said it?
It was Alex.
Alex. I looked at her and I'm like, oh, sure.
Yeah.
And then we're like, Jen.
Oh,
Jen,
yeah, they kept
that's
calling.
your boyfriend.
Yeah, they kept calling Jen Ortega.
Oh yeah, we kept calling Jen. Anyway,
Yeah, that was our whole.
Well, your character says the best line. It's possible to make a good dirty
Yeah.
movie.
yeah, this is gonna. I
love that line.
No, and then right after that too. Yeah, fill my heart on, and then he like.
oh yeah,
HR.
I am
Yeah.
curious though about where are we in the story? I'm sorry. Am I
we're-
jumping
no,
ahead?
First
they
act setup.
got to the house.
They just got to the house. We'll
So we're
start from
good
the,
with the alligator, right? That's Act One.
that. No,
yeah,
that.
that
There
was
are no alligators in lakes in the middle of Texas, or are they in Houston? Where are
They're
they?
not
They're
in
in
Houston
Texas.
because Wayne is
but
from
they're near
Houston.
Houston.
Wayne is from Houston, and they drove out, so they're
But
somewhere.
they must be like along the coast or
I've never
near
been
the
to Texas. I
Everglades
don't
or
know.
something. Are there Everglades in Texas? I just found
I
the
don't know.
alligator to be such an odd thing. Like Florida, yes, there are alligators everywhere.
That's the one thing you pick out of this whole thing.
That was the weird part for me.
I
have weird moments where I go, there are no alligators in Texas.
I think it's probably like a pet alligator, maybe.
That's
Yeah.
what
Maybe
I
they
thought.
if
grabbed
you-
it
if
and
you
they
watch-
left it in there.
Well, if you watch Pearl, you would know.
Yeah, she would have.
There is
There's a
Oh,
sequel.
the prequel sequel?
sequel,
Yeah.
prequel, yeah.
Oh, so the alligator comes into play?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, never mind. So
But
there's,
however-
there's a reason for the alligator.
Yes. Well, yeah. We'll tell you off. We'll
Yeah.
we can cut this out. But
Damn it, Dan. Oh, tell him off air. Yo, sure.
Make Frank work.
You know, Pearl is when it was first coming out, it was described as a demented 1920s musical, and it really
Oh,
it
yeah.
really fits that.
Really?
You would
It's-
love it.
I kind of want to
It's
see it.
it's a Technicolor nightmare.
Really?
Yeah, it's,
I'm
it's
a
very cool.
star.
I'm a star.
Yeah, a lot of things that like Maxine says.
Yeah.
A lot of her like at the beginning, I was almost like, oh wait, no, those are two different people.
You know-
because her like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're a star, or you gotta.
I want to be a star.
Yeah, everything she said, like especially to when every time she would sniff coke, like when she was in the strip club at the beginning. I'm like, no, that's a different
Yeah.
character.
You know, I'll just talk about it later. But that scene with the alligator when Maxine jumps into the pool
Yes.
to relax while everybody, not the pool, the pond, what everybody else is filming their
I
scene.
love that scene.
The scene they're filming.
No,
Oh.
no, ew, gross, girls,
the whole
nasty.
sequence of what was going on there?
The cut
With
back
Maxine.
and forth.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
great.
But so when it was the bird's eye view of Maxine trying to get back
Yes.
onto the
And the
thing, and then the
alligator
alligator,
in
its shallow
the
water.
whole entire theater, which is just us, our friends, we were yelling.
If you thought our catch-ups were rowdy,
That was rowdy. We were like, run, swim
yeah.
faster.
So I got a
It
totally
felt very Jaws
yeah,
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so,
seeing the shark. You
so
know.
I
but
got
it got you
Oh
going.
yeah, I mean, I assumed she would survive.
Right. It would
But
be no point.
Still,
yeah.
it was a cool shot.
I was
Yeah.
telling Jennifer because she came in the living room when I was watching. I was like, Jennifer, I was like, this movie is a totally different movie when I'm actually like focusing, have the tension. I'm like, not everyone's chatting. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, it's just different. It was like I'm actually focused. I'm like, I'm liking it a little more.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to watch movies with your friends?
No, I was just joking.
That's fine.
That's not what I said.
No, that's fine.
Wow.
I had a lot of fun.
I feel a breakup coming.
That's why it was
It's been
almost
in the
like
making.
that's when we had to watch it again. I was like, I don't want to ruin that,
No, that's fine. Don't make that slapping sound, especially for this. Don't.
Good job, guys.
All right. So, anyways, so
We can go to Act 2 now,
yeah.
right?
So, what I was gonna say, but too when they're filming that scene,
Where
though,
does
with
Act 2 start?
I say when the wife gets rejected by RJ.
Okay.
You
Are
think
you
so?
gonna say something?
no,
What do you think?
I would say it's probably shortly before. It's the night that they like after their first night
When they're playing,
and Jenna
When they're all
wants
sitting
to
around talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they're
When they're
explaining,
Fleetwood Mac,
explaining how
when
you
they're
can
doing-
be in love while you're doing a porno.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was glad
Okay.
they did that because I was hoping that scene would happen so I could understand that love and porno has nothing to do with each other.
Yeah,
Made me
but
feel better
There
about
was the whole thing too in the first
About
act
your
too,
past.
being in porn about my youth.
where Pearl, the older lady, she's kind of in the shadows the whole time. She's kind of looking.
Oh.
When they're filming the porno,
That
with
was
one of-
so disgusting.
Yeah, she's there, and then also too, Maxine goes into the house and she sees the older lady there and offers her lemonade, and she just kind of starts touching her. She's like,
Was that
I
before or
thought the
after the
lemonades.
convo?
Say what?
that
Was that before or after the conversation?
That was
I think it was
before.
that was
before.
That
before.
was before.
I think it goes into the whole
Because
like,
she watches it through the window
Yeah.
after
Yeah, I
that.
remember that.
I
Yeah,
think
that
the
happened-
lemonade scene was great when they're just
Yeah.
sitting in the kitchen with the lemonade,
and
it flashes back to. Sorry.
No, what I'm saying, and a lot of information is given too because Maxine starts talking about her husband. Pearl's talking about her husband. She's like, my husband served through World War I, World War II. He would, back then, he would do anything for me. So, there's kind of some backstory. You could tell she's kind of like, feels not exactly like she's out of her prime now, not relevant. Like she's like kind of just moping around.
And that's when you find out that she's not. Yes, she's obsessed with Maxine, but not because of the person, but because she's
In her youth.
jealous.
Yeah, she's jealous.
Yeah.
She wants to go back. She's, like I said, like she sees Maxine now, this young in her prime, and she misses those days and kind of wants to go back. Yeah, I'm talking in circles.
Yes, you are.
She covets.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question because I didn't know until the end of the movie, but I was sort of curious. Like, I kept looking at Pearl going, you look like a younger actress with makeup on. You don't really look like an old lady to me.
Can I tell you, I
Because
didn't.
it felt a little too, I don't know why. It just didn't feel right to me. Not like it didn't.
It did take you out of the movie?
No, it didn't take me out of the movie because I was like, I'm okay if it's not an old lady. I mean, depending on what happens in Act 3, maybe we need a younger actress to wield off these deaths or whatever. It wasn't until after the end of the movie I went, oh, that's the same actress.
I didn't realize it until the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
either.
I thought that
I
was
didn't
really,
realize till it was over.
I liked it. I thought it was cool, but I didn't feel like she read
As-
authentically old.
Fair.
Can we go back to the pawn thing
And
again? Not the pound.
I think he's younger too. The actor played.
yeah, I
her
think
husband.
they're both. I think
Yeah.
they were. I mean, obviously,
I mean,
one
I
was
don't think
in.
he was as young. I think he's like
No.
more like in his 50s. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
The camera technique of zooming. Was it out? Or, zooming out on Maxine when she's at the. Is it a pond or a river? What is it?
It's a pond.
It's a pond.
It's
It's a
like a
pond.
lake,
Or a
like almost
lake.
even
Yeah,
a lake.
there you go, a lake.
I'm going to
When,
repeat everything you say.
Okay.
Okay.
see how that feels.
Insane in the membrane.
And stay in the membrane,
To
It's
credit.
louder.
but louder.
Actually,
sorry.
no. Do it quieter.
But do it quieter.
Zoltan.
Farmer's
Go ahead,
daughter.
Sam. I'm so sorry.
I'm so.
So
okay.
the name of the movie is Farmer's Daughters.
Take one.
Are we starting this whole thing over?
No.
So when it zoomed out, it reminded me of, like you said, how it felt like it was actually filmed in the 70s. The whole zoom out technique is very much like a thing in the 70s, and
Yeah.
I really
Yes.
liked it.
Even the pacing of the way that, like, how long it took for them to zoom out, it was very,
Jaggedy.
yeah,
You could, yeah. But also, yeah.
deliberate.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't have a lot of quick, like you said, the camera kind of took us up. We got a lot of those like panning shots that you just never really get anymore.
Yeah, and even the acting though. I can't quite explain it, but the acting was very
Yeah.
70s slasher movie
Right.
or
it
horror
wasn't,
movie.
It wasn't horrible,
No.
but
it was
like,
just very
I can't put, I don't know how to
It
describe
just-
it, but I get what you mean.
pacing,
It felt
the
very much.
delivery.
It felt very much of its time. Like I said, it wasn't. It never felt like, oh look, it's trying to be a '70s movie.
Right.
Like wink, nudge. It's like no, this film looked like it was actually made.
Yeah, if I didn't
Yeah.
know, if you just put it on and I was
Damn, we
watching
should have
it,
done that.
I would have gone, oh, this was made in this, and it said
Yeah.
1979. I was like, okay, it's made in
it's
1979.
not just a Smashing Pumpkins song.
So I thought that was cool.
Don't laugh.
Yeah, don't egg
I
him on.
retract
He'll
that
keep
laughter.
going if you do that.
Yeah. So now we. So
now we're into that conversation
Yeah.
that they have about not. It's a very quick conversation. Wait, Does the conversation come before or after the little musical number?
It's right after.
Right after?
Because it starts
Musical
out
number,
with
what
the,
the
it
hell?
starts
When he
Yeah,
takes
they-
out the guitar and
when
they
they're
sing
doing
the
Oh,
song.
Mac.
it was-
When
yeah.
they're doing
Very,
landslide.
very nice scene though. Love the
It
song.
was-
yeah.
it was
It's
right-
love that
right
It's
song.
right
before, yeah.
after.
It's a great song.
Yeah, when that like up until that point, like it was a pretty good movie, but when that happened, I was like, oh, they're trying to do stuff here. That's cool.
They
It just
do
felt
do
nice.
stuff. Now, what did you
Artiste
think
stuff.
about the I don't want to say the word leap because that sounds like I'm being critical, but when Jenna Ortega all of a sudden, yeah, I want to do this.
It was kind of set up when she's so in the movie. What's her name? Lorraine.
Yeah.
She's the sound guy, so she was dragged into it because she's JR's girlfriend.
Right?
Yeah.
She
RJ.
didn't know they were doing
Porn.
JR, sorry, RJ. Yeah, so she didn't really know they were doing porn, but then when she was helping them film the first scene, you can kind of tell that she's like interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, she smiles.
She
She's like
gives
smiling.
that like repressed Christian girl
I
vibe.
must have missed that shot or two.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Honestly, because I just was like, oh wow. Well, of course you have to do this, but
Yeah.
okay, because it's porn. We all,
Yeah.
which I also kind of liked. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
we all have
you
to
like
do
it?
this.
the
Yeah,
guy
I
delivering,
agree.
I don't have any change, but come on
Yeah.
in. My daddy will be home soon. Get you change for your pizza. I mean,
And
obviously
yeah,
it
Would
wasn't
you like
such
I
to
like
cut
to.
his
the
sack?
car
Yeah,
broke down.
exactly. Every line, like, would you like to come inside? Then my dad, I can give you a ride.
Yeah.
Like they all kind of,
That's
those
all
innuendos.
Classic '70s porn.
Yes.
Not that I would know. I'm
Dan knows
just
all
saying.
about
No.
those. So.
No, I've heard about it.
From a friend of yours.
Yeah, a friend of mine.
So
Don't
then in
look
the
up his
conversation,
filmography.
so in the conversation, yeah, she was posing that question of what's the difference between love and what's shot
Right.
on screen. And I think that was a great thing. And then she's like, I'm interested. And then the boyfriend's like, nope.
And then she brings up
Yeah,
forward. She's
I
like,
like
how
that.
can
what,
you?
what a deadbeat, man.
Yeah.
I liked his line though, and they used it in the movie too. I mean, in the trailer, and it was perfectly like it was that perfect trailer line. Because in the trailer they set up the whole "we're going to do a porn," blah blah blah, and then they use his line where he says, "What? You can't do that. You can't just change the story halfway
Yeah.
through."
Oh,
I
that's
And that's when
funny.
the
Yeah.
trailer turns into a horror trailer. Because up until that point, it's like a
Right.
road trip porn trailer. I thought that was really effective, and it
Yeah.
happens right before everything goes
Haywire.
south.
So,
Yes. So she decides to do the porns, the bitty baddies.
bitty baddies. And she
And
takes off her cross necklace before she does.
RJ does not. Sorry, Jr. does not like this.
Is it RJ or
It's
JR?
RJ.
It's
Then why did I
RJ. There
say?
you go.
Oh, I was thinking because I was thinking of for whatever. I was thinking
No,
like
you're fine. I said JR too.
Yeah.
It's RJ.
who shot Jr.
So they get in a little tiff here and there. And then
With Roger
Wayne,
Garland?
Wayne pulls him out and say, hey, you either get along with this or she's just going to go
She's
find
gonna do it
someone
anyway,
else.
yeah.
In a worse situation.
Mm-hmm.
But she did it anyway.
She did.
And
Yes,
she
she
goes
did.
out. It's the typical. He goes out. It's raining.
It wasn't raining.
Oh no,
No,
it's dark
He
outside.
was taking a shower
Oh,
and
yeah,
crying
yeah, yeah.
himself
Take
to
a
I
sleep.
love that scene. I don't know why. He's just so
Nobody
like
knows
dramatic.
It's like the Who, like Behind Blue Eyes, is playing.
I
The
think
Limp
some
Bizkit
people.
version.
I think our theater was
Oh.
laughing when we saw that. too.
That scene?
we were all laughing too.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, really quick. So the when they were singing the song, did it take you guys out? Because I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
The song?
Yeah,
Landslide.
yeah.
I loved it.
I didn't like it.
In the living room?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the
At
odd
first,
man
it
out.
came off a little like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I
Some
love this. I love the song, so I don't care.
Yeah, see, the movie I didn't like it in, and it just felt super out of place, was when they did it in The Conjuring 2.
Can you talk into the mic and not
It's,
inside?
yeah, it's when they did in The Conjuring 2.
I
What
don't
did they
even
do?
remember
Yeah,
them
that's
doing
why
it.
no
They
one
did
remembers.
Landslide?
No, they just the character picks up a guitar and just starts singing a song.
I don't remember
that.
that.
It comes out of nowhere when they're in the
Yeah.
house, and then I feel like this one, I don't know, it felt more
It felt
appropriate.
It's
enough
fitting
Because
to
too
me.
lyrically
Yeah,
with
and
the theme of growing
yeah.
old and, you know.
Yeah,
I
and
know,
it's
I
just a
just- I
bunch of
just don't
people
like it.
You
sitting
didn't like it.
around.
Well, it's because you don't like fun in musicals, so that makes sense.
They can't like. This is the 70s.
You don't like
Th-
fun?
This
I
is
knew you didn't like musicals, but you don't like fun either.
This is the 70s.
I
They're
hate
not.
fun.
They're not going to be on like a 70s, Facebook or like. It's like, what else are they going to do? You had the guy with a guitar. Is he either singing Landslide or singing Kumbaya? You got to pick one of those.
You always have a guy with a guitar back then.
That's what I'm saying. There was always the guy.
I would love-
I can tell you, I was
no,
there.
okay, fine.
Dan
Here's
was
the
the
thing.
guy with the good.
I would love to smash your face in with the guitar.
Dan was
What about
Dan.
ukulele?
That's Animal House.
Yeah, Dan used to be known as Dan the Guitar Man.
That was me.
Anyway.
This chaotic. Let's go back to
So when does Act 3 start?
Wait.
Well, no, we still
Are
got
we
a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Of
Act
Act
2.
Two?
Let me.
Not
let
that
me,
much.
No, Act 2 is a lot.
Yeah.
So you got the conversation, and then RJ being upset. So then he, in the middle of the night, decides to leave.
Right.
Runs into the older woman, who then hits on him because she wants to relive her youth.
Because
What?
remember too, after she sees like the porno going on, she goes up to her husband and she starts making
Tries
the
to
moves.
get on with
yeah,
him.
and he goes, "Oh no! Remember,
I
like
have a heart
I'll
problem.
have a heart
and
attack.
you can
Or-
tell she's like been wanting to do this for a while.
Yes.
She's very
Dry.
Ready. She
Not-
ain't dry. She ain't
Nah,
dry.
I don't think she's dry.
He is. She
Yeah,
ain't.
yeah, she's
So
you can tell
she
she's
wants
like
to
begging.
Get, she wants to get it on. He can't.
because of his heart.
Okay, so then yeah.
Yeah.
Because of that, the wife becomes insane, but really she's just freaking horny.
She's frustrated.
Thank you. Frustrated. She's severely frustrated. Hits on RJ, gets rejected, goes on a killing spree, fueled by rejection and jealousy. Husband then protects her because he knows what she's capable of,
Uh-huh.
and then decides to. At this point, everybody knows. Oh,
This is where they start looking for RJ.
Max. Oh, can we talk about how RJ dies?
But hang
Yes.
on.
Let's go a little later.
Before, well, no, hang on. We are at that point.
Yeah.
How RJ dies.
Oh yeah.
And but again, I'm asking, where does Act 3 start? I would think that would be the beginning of
they-
Act 3.
When the husband and the wife, I think when they get back to the house.
That's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
But that's right after this.
No,
No, there's still some
There's
stuff that happens.
because everybody else gets killed off. We
Yeah.
can cut this
Dan,
out.
when did you watch this?
Yeah.
Like Thursday or Friday.
You gotta watch
it
it
doesn't
almost a
matter,
week
but
ago?
hang on a second. Yeah, I always watch them a week ago.
So then
I don't
RJ
do what you do and watch them 5 minutes before
Wait,
this
hold
thing
on.
starts.
So RJ dies,
How?
and then
How?
the-
How does he die?
hold on, we're not. No, I'm just
Oh.
kind of refreshing. And then so RJ dies, and then Pearl gets into the house, into the thing, sleeps next to Maxine,
Yes.
and then Kid Cudi goes with the old man to help look for Pearl, but he was actually trying to kill him.
Yes.
Kid Cudi dies. How did he die? Not the
he
alligator.
gets shot.
Yeah.
Gets shot, and then Brittany Snow looks for him, dies because of the alligator.
Right, she gets the alligator.
Yeah, Lorraine gets stuck in the basement. She gets locked in the basement, finds that other guy that the police were
Looking for.
in the first scene. And then what else happened?
Well,
Maxine goes into the house.
Yeah,
the
Wayne-
producer guy,
Yeah, Wayne
he
gets,
gets his head knifed off.
with
does.
the pitchfork.
No,
That's what
she
it's
just
called.
keeps.
I called it a
Who's the one
triton.
that
Oh,
just
wait,
keeps
wait.
stabbing
Yeah,
until
yeah.
the head comes
That's
off?
the
That's
the
RJ.
Oh,
That's
okay.
RJ.
Okay.
Wayne gets his eyeball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun.
Fun. That's my fun.
Oy, oy, oy.
Lots of stabbing.
It gets
Lots
gruesome.
of stabbing.
Yeah. Just what you wanted.
It took 50 some odd minutes of movie telling before we got to our first kill.
Yeah. So
And then
okay.
after that, the killing just kept on a flowing.
Oh boy, there we go, killing
Wait,
again.
wait, so-
you were gonna say that.
let's talk about RJ's death then.
Yeah, it was nasty. It was gross.
That
I
was
loved
nasty.
Was it rated X?
That was
Rated
a,
X.
that was an X-rated
This summer.
nasty death.
it. Yeah.
This
How
summer.
did he die?
This summer, the pitchfork is
He
coming
gets
for
That's
you.
the one
yeah,
where she
Travis.
kept. That's
He gets
the one
his
where
neck
she,
stabbed
she
the
just
fuck up.
stabbed the neck so much his head came off.
Yeah.
They were locked in an embrace, and then she just decided to off him in the worst way.
She
Not in
off
the right way.
something.
So that's
that way.
That's what tripped off the killing spree.
But wait, can
After
we talk
that,
about?
there was no turning back.
No, but can we talk about how that was shot though?
Oh yes.
So when she
I
was
th-
going in on him,
Uh-huh.
go ahead.
No. Continue.
So when she was going in on him, you see blood, and then suddenly the red gels come out,
Oh yeah.
and then all of the whole scene was like in red light, and I thought that was beautiful.
Yes. Because
What were you gonna
the
say?
blood splatter gets on the headlights of
Mm-hmm.
the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was-
Travis actually brought this up when we were doing the opening scene for Here and There.
Yeah.
He thought that the way that they did that was really cool,
Yeah.
so we wanted to try something similar.
Yeah.
I don't think we ended up getting it to work. It just didn't make as much
Oh.
sense here. But it's a really cool
idea.
Yeah,
very
originally-
creative
Talk about the
scene.
cold opening of Here and There.
Yeah, originally that's yeah.
There was a similar scene there, and then we were like, oh wait, that looks like that reminds us of this, and then we tried to like
There's a. I feel like at
Work
one.
with that.
I feel like
Right.
at one point there was a lot of similarities, like the way that like X was kind of shot was. I think we could talked a lot previously, like, oh, it'd be cool if we did like something like this.
And
I
then this
saw
movie
X,
did it, and
I,
then we were
that's
like,
what- I was like, that's exactly because remember we were even talking about like in here and there doing the aspect ratio change. I was like,
Yes.
that was a genius way to do it, right there with barnyard doors.
Yeah, X removed quite a few things from the script.
Yeah,
X gonna give it
X-
to ya.
X
You're gonna
X'd
give
up
it to
our
ya.
movie, man.
It's gonna give it to ya.
And then the grandma dancing.
That was weird.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, I like when
Grandma's dance.
yes, I like when unhinged characters dance. I think it's really
yeah, I
cool.
think that's my favorite scene of the whole movie.
So is that why you love Joker?
Yes, actually, I do like the dancing in Joker. It's weird.
Speaking of weird,
Dan,
No. I was just thinking about the movie, and so you're saying that Act 3 starts when, what's her name,
Jenna Ortega.
decides to do something about all this. I'm not,
honestly, I would say Act 3
because I feel like once she
starts-
kills RJ, I'm like that. The whole movie shifts
But
at
then
that
Act 2 would be
point.
really short then.
It
I-
was really
I
short,
thi-
in
no,
my opinion.
I think
but,
Act-
but I'm just going off of
But I feel like Act 2 would be all of
like
the problems.
storytelling.
All of the chaos.
So where does it start then?
I think Act 3 starts when Lorraine gets to the basement and finds the guy's body there, because that's when
That's
you
like in the
really
middle.
get an idea of how unhinged
But
they
the
both
third
are.
act is
'Cause
go
up
ahead.
until that point, you don't know that Howard, the husband, is in on it as well. Up until that point, he's acting like, "Oh, my wife is kind of
Typically, though, your
crazy."
third act starts when your main character takes proactive action.
Yeah, but see,
when suddenly they go, okay, I'm doing something about this. That's typically in an
But then
action
that would be
movie
Maxine
where Act
going
3
back to the
starts.
house.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Because
No, that's what I'm asking.
up until that point, you think Lorraine's going to be the final girl,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Absolutely.
she gets
then
locked
she gets
up.
blown off. Oh, she gets shot.
She gets locked up first in the basement, and that's when the protagonist switches to Maxine. Because up until that point, you're
Right.
led to believe, like, oh, Maxine is just another one of these characters. It's really Jenna's character who we're following.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Maybe.
Nah.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm glad
Travis,
we're having a live
life is
conversation about where Act 3
unfair.
starts. But no. So I think
don't. Can you
for
repeat
me it's
the
just
question?
yeah. I think you're right. Actually, I was just
It's just that the movie's constructed in an
Odd way.
in an odd way, but if you really think about it, it starts to make sense. It's just that first like 57 minutes really like
Threw you off, yeah.
throws you off, yeah.
it totally throws
Because
you
it all feels
off.
like a first act. But
Until
I think,
it isn't.
Thank you, Travis. So then RJ dies.
yes.
Yeah, I don't think in the traditional formula of storytelling, this really falls into a
No.
very strong 3-act
No.
structure.
No.
Honestly,
Kind of like how
Not that-
BVS is a 5-act movie.
yeah, I
What?
mean,
Batman v
Yeah,
Superman.
I knew you were gonna get into that.
I've had this conversation with Travis.
Which
it's a
movie?
5-act
I'm sorry.
movie. Batman versus Superman.
oh,
It's got a 5-act structure. It's structured like a play. That's why it
Nice.
feels weird, but I like
Okay.
it.
So then RJ dies for the third time.
Wait, who?
RJ just keeps
JR.
dying.
Sorry. JR.
RJ's the one that gets stabbed till his neck and his head separate.
Yeah.
And I
That's-
like she stabbed and then she like twisted.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
the
when they
worst
do
shit.
that.
It was twisted.
That's the worst.
so
death,
you're saying
for
that
sure.
if someone gets stabbed and it twists, they should die?
Stop. Shut up.
Travis, shut up right
I
now.
know what you're doing, Travis.
I'm not doing anything.
I know what you're doing.
Jenna
You're going back
I
Ortega-
know, I know what you
Jenna
did last summer.
Ortega.
You're going back to Screevy.
Jenna Ortega?
How
No,
did all
so
these
Jenna
people walk
So
away?
Jenna Ortega now is locked in the basement.
Yes. She was supposed to team up with Wayne to go look for RJ.
JR.
No, it's RJ.
RJJR.
JR
JR?
is from
RJ
Gunsmoke.
Jer.
Roger?
Or Dallas.
Roger?
Dallas, that's what I. Yeah.
Roger?
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 Garland,
Garland.
So then Wayne gets stabbed in the eye, which is cool.
and that was the
That's
end.
And
of
we
fun.
were anticipating that because he was just looking through the people
Oh,
for
yeah.
like so
and that,
long.
and that was the end of Wayne's World.
Absolutely. That was
In
not
his-
a surprise
Yeah,
death.
in his skeevies.
Even that, though, I thought it was like timed really well. Like right when I thought it was going to happen, it didn't happen.
I
Then
kept
it
looking
did?
back, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that hurts.
that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Who-
then Kid Cudi
Coming out of
and his cutties, his really long cutty.
his really long cutties.
I was
think the
born
whole
for
entire
this.
theater was like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
That got a big laugh in our theater too.
Big.
Big, very long laugh. Yes.
It hung in the air.
Yes.
Uncut.
Enough.
Wow.
So and that's one thing I will say about the movie. The first time I watched it, I didn't think that the kills were particularly inventive, except for maybe the alligator kill. But rewatching it, like, they're all pretty satisfying. I'm like, yes, this murder satisfies me.
Yeah.
Continue.
God, you're sick. I'm just kidding.
Who got the pitchfork again?
JR.
That was Wayne.
Oh, wait.
But it's once the kills start happening, pretty contrived, honestly, as far as the story
Little bit,
goes.
yeah.
Because there's no real battles or challenging going on. It's just they're
No.
just killing
Dan,
everybody.
We
Yeah.
are
And
in
it feels very like where's the
I think it
Where's
kind
it
of
going?
has to be
chase
that
and
way,
the
though.
fun?
We are a slasher podcast.
That's
That's
also-
how I
if you
feel.
don't
I
know-
think-
But
I feel like
that's
the
also
like the
very-
first 2/3 or whatever, however we want to call this, the slow burn was so interesting. Then once it kind of unleashed and the kills started happening, I mean, I
You
won't
got spoiled by Scream.
I won't say that I wasn't on the edge, but I will say that looking back at it when it was over, it was like, oh, that was
Frank, mute
Yeah.
him.
Who?
Dan.
not.
Oh, I thought you meant Travis. I was like, he's not saying anything.
That wasn't.
Oh, I
that.
thought you were gonna say mute him, and then you were gonna make a joke because he said I was on the edge. I was like, leave him alone.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I thought.
I honestly think that Scream has spoiled you because
Yeah.
a lot of slashers are not like oh, here's a chase scene. Most of them
Yeah.
are pretty to the point.
Yeah.
Dan,
Boy,
that's
this-
We
how-
did
no,
start pretty
Dan,
pretty
this
strong
one,
with
this
Scream,
one
though.
sure was. But I mean, Texas Chainsaw was too, right? Once they started killing,
Well,
there
we
was like.
just had that
It
one
was
chase
very
scene.
yeah, that
well,
one
you
chase
did have
scene
a
that
chase,
lasts
but
forever.
this one didn't have anything.
Yeah, but everything else,
it was a
besides that,
kill.
no, but even with sex dolls, even just with that one chasing, everything else is just like dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Dead.
You're dead.
I don't think you could get away with a chase in this movie though, because they're both over like 80, right?
And they're in
Well,
like,
that's the
and
other
you have the
part
one
of the
set.
movie that made
Yeah.
me wonder how they're being so successful at this.
I will say,
I think they really use that that I'm just no person.
Well, that's the thing, and it
to
all
their
happens
advantage.
because that's the thing. It all happens.
Come a little closer. I need to talk to you. Step.
You know, this gun's not even loaded. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
the old
it's, no,
guns not loaded routine.
Yeah, Dan, and that's what I think it is, and I think that's why it almost has to happen so fast, is because it's all happening at once. If someone came and they're like, "We gotta go.
Someone
These
did
old
come.
people are killing us.
Several times.
We're doing all of this." It would be like, okay, like you said, they're old. We'll just leave, run away, knock them over.
remember that
I
joke?
guess.
That joke in the theater, we all were all the joke in the theater. We're all saying it's like could all end if the husband just has sex with her.
Yeah. We could have avoided
Just-
all of this.
None of this
Yeah.
would have happened.
If he just
And-
gave in.
Nobody thought his heart attack and death was just sort of like, I know they told us he had
Oh
a heart
my
attack,
God.
but really, that's how he had a heart attack
Right?
over?
the gunshot?
Hold that thought.
Yeah,
Frank,
because,
continue.
I'm holding.
I'm done.
I don't know where we left off.
No.
So everyone,
Hopefully we're in Act 3 by now.
Yeah, I think we're in Act 3 by now.
Everyone's
everyone's
dying.
pretty much dead.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Lynn gets the alligator, which was my favorite death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like alligators, and
that's
I like
Brittany Snow's character.
yeah, Bobby Lynn.
Is that her name?
Would you like to come inside? Yes, that's her name.
You do that so well.
I haven't said it like a million times.
Okay.
Anyway,
So-
First time saying that.
yes.
So Jenna Ortega.
So yeah, we cut back to Jenna Ortega, who's escaping. Oh wait, no, but before then, Maxine's trying to get out of the.
We didn't know. We didn't explain Pearl getting in bed with Maxine.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's
that,
honest-
that takes every death. That was the creepiest, most gruesome part of the entire movie for me.
Her getting in bed with Maxine.
That was just gross.
When she turned around and
Oh
you
my
knew
God.
she was face to face with Pearl, it still can't. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
you're still
wake
not
up-
prepared.
You just can't.
It's burned
With her
into your
blue,
mind.
what, did she have blue eyeshadow on?
Yes, you did.
To mimic Maxine.
So pretty.
I never
So
could
pretty.
resist a girl with blue eyeshadow and roots and a halter and cutoffs. Did
Dan's
Pearl
gonna-
have all those on, or am I just fantasizing right now?
Pearl had all those on.
Yes, she did.
It was just really. It was
And then-
so
And
you know
hard
why
to
she
watch.
was
That scene
with-
was
in bed
very
with
hard to
Maxine?
watch.
Huh?
You know why she was in bed with Maxine?
Pourquoi?
Because she doesn't like blondes.
Oh, that's right.
That's why
But
she
then
killed
she
Bobby
was
Lynn.
like,
Man.
And then she was like touching her body and it's like bloody.
Ugh.
Anyway, and
What,
then-
you've never done that?
Which part?
what are you asking me?
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Honestly, I don't even know.
I can go certain distance there,
now
but
this
at some
sounds
point I
too
did not
weird.
do that.
Remember, like a few weeks ago when I said something else about getting into bed?
Oh, with Jan, yes.
You got in bed with me? Holy crap.
You know what? We're in a cabin here. There's only 2 beds.
There's limited
There's
real
limited
estate.
space. I'm sorry. I have a bad back. If I'm quiet, you don't
I'm
notice.
done.
If I'm quiet, you don't notice.
He's not a-
Don't caress me, okay?
Sometimes I don't. You know, if I'm eating in there, I make sure not to leave crumbs. Like, you know,
Where are you eating?
a sandwich.
Where?
Also a sandwich.
You know, I make sure to make up the bed right. You know,
I
you don't
think
even
the
know.
oxygen level has severely reduced.
Yeah, we're at a high elevation here.
We're
Yeah.
actually on Mount Everest.
So Maxine is in bed with Pearl. Pearl, she wakes up. Pearl leaves.
Like, I'm done.
Yes. And then that's when I think that's when
Brittany Snow.
Brittany Snow goes off to look for, and then she dies, and then
Well, she's shoved into the lake.
Oh, yeah. Pearl really shoved her, though.
Oh, yeah.
Really. And then the husband meets up with Pearl. Forgot her name.
yeah. At the alligator pond.
And then it cuts to Lorraine.
It cuts to Lorraine breaking out.
And that's Act 3.
Yeah. But Howard also shows up and puts her back in her place.
Howard's the husband, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So,
Well, he shotguns her, right?
not yet.
Yes. No, not yet. Okay,
So Lorraine finds the hammer.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
so this actually happens before Bobby Lynn gets killed.
Okay.
Yeah, so she tries to
Bobby
break
Lynn's
out.
part of Act 3.
Yes,
Was
yes.
this after his long halftime walk?
Stop, shut
it's
up.
What are you talking
It's a
about?
movie.
Nothing.
It's a movie.
Are you being like nobody, like referring to another movie?
He has-
We're over it. So, anyways.
We're 30 episodes in. He does this every time.
Wow.
So then,
So then Pearl and Howard go back to the house, the guest house.
where they have sex.
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Maxine's
Maxine is still in the guest house, and she hides underneath
the bed.
And
Or
that's
they have the
that's
sex?
another intensely uncomfortable
rather-
scene.
Dan, like when I
watch
went
Maxine
camping.
and Pearl in bed,
Then
then
what-
watch that.
then that?
Yep.
then watch Howard's ass thrust.
But
There are certain
welcome.
things. There are certain
But he
things.
didn't have the heart attack from that, which is why
No.
he couldn't
There-
have
And
sex.
that's why he could have, and none of this would have happened.
Yeah.
There are certain things in life that you're
This
not
could
meant
have
to
been
see. This is one of them.
Yeah. I remember the whole entire theater was like, we were like, duh, no.
No.
We were throwing up.
No.
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 Yeah, I agree. That was tough.
But
Tough
anyway,
watch.
she's got it. She's still got it.
Yeah.
He still got it.
While they're getting it, Maxine escapes to the house.
I'd be so traumatized.
Yeah. And then she frees Lorraine, who immediately does what every person in the situation would do and says, "Yes, let's get out of here."
But
No, she doesn't. She
It
blames
ended.
her for everything and then starts running off.
And
like
that's
an
when
idiot.
she got shotgunned.
Yeah, and that's when she gets shot in the
And
face.
that's when a heart attack happens.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
That is not what
Oh, no,
causes
you're
the
right.
heart attack. It's way more lame than that.
Hold on.
which
when,
is great.
when Lorraine got the hammer and then she goes upstairs, the shot with her hammering the door, it reminds me of The Shining.
Yes.
Because they were doing the
Yes.
tracking
I
shot with
agree
the
with
hammer,
you.
and I really liked that. But yeah, then she gets shot outside.
Yeah.
He drags her in, and then she comes back to
She
life.
twitches.
And
Oh,
he has
yeah.
a heart attack
Yeah,
and
yeah.
dies.
I thought that was. I'm not making fun of death, but I thought that was funny.
Why are
I
you
thought it was
making fun of death?
hilarious, and also, I mean, we'll talk about Pearl's death as well. But I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was funny, but not for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. I laughed because I thought, this is stupid.
And I think that's what they were trying to do. Like, he didn't die from having sex, but he just died because some chick woke up again.
Twitched.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Little twitch from the
Little twitcheroo.
twitchy from the young girl.
So
anyway,
then,
so now we're down to 2.
yeah,
Then there
Pearl
were
and
2.
Maxine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Played by the same actress.
How did they shoot that?
I don't know how they split screen that.
Okay, speaking of that, when
Travis will tell us now.
no when any of you were Dan, when you were younger, and then Frank.
When I was younger,
Frank and Sam, when you were a kid,
TV was
when
still
you watched,
was in black and white, and silent movies
yeah,
were
you had
still
to flip a
coming
knob.
out. Yeah.
When you watched The Parent Trap for the first time, did you know that Lindsay Lohan played both? Did
Lindsay
you ever?
Lohan.
Who?
In
I
The
saw
Parent
the
Trap.
original with Haley
Mills.
Mills.
We're
Thank you.
Well, we're not going back that far. Did you ever think?
No, I don't think
you knew.
yeah.
Yeah, for a second. Well, when I was a kid,
Well,
and I
wait,
really
hold
didn't
on.
know.
What did you think?
I was a kid and I'd seen this movie. I didn't know. I was like, oh,
He
they're
was
two
like,
sisters.
this is how they do the
and then
split screen.
And then someone told me that they were like the same. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that the first time.
He's
Or,
like,
while
aspect
watching
ratio
it.
is different.
Stop, leave me alone. I'm
So
just trying
you
to. I'm
thought
trying to-
Lindsay Lohan had a twin sister?
I didn't know
and
who
they
Lindsay
were both
Lohan
in the movie
was.
together?
I didn't know who she was at the time.
How old were you?
This came out in I think like 7.
Okay, so you were
I'm
like 5. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't like.
You have an excuse.
I wasn't like.
Okay.
You know, I know you were getting ready to retire when the movie came out, so you had a lot of time to think.
There
You were
was a
golfing and-
there was a sitcom back in the 60s called The Patty Duke Show where she played herself and her twin cousin from England. It was, I don't know how they explained that off, but I was probably 7, 8 years old, and I remember thinking,
So you were slightly older than me.
I'm backing you up here, Travis. I remember thinking, wow, how did they find an actress that looks just like Patty Duke? That is so cool.
Hollywood magic.
There you go.
But sorry, so
So, Howard drops his shotgun and Pearl is near it. So she picks up the shotgun and she's got Maxine dead to rights.
Huh?
She's got her dead to rights. She's got her in
With
her
the shotgun.
crosshairs.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Sorry, you look exhausted.
But we got some dialogue early in the movie about shotguns not being loaded. Oh yeah, my pistol's not loaded.
Yeah.
Remember that
What-
dialogue?
Was that in there?
That's okay.
Yeah,
My shotgun ain't loaded. He goes, that's
What
okay. I
part?
keep a
He goes,
pistol in
"You're-"
my car that's not loaded.
he goes, no, because it's when Wayne gets to the door to knock when they
Right,
first get
he
out the
goes,
house,
Oh.
and then it's like
You're from
Okay.
the Treasury Department. You're from you're whatever.
he goes, in this state you're trespassing.
Right.
I can shoot you.
Okay, I got
Right.
it. Thank you.
It was lame, but yeah.
But anyway, Pearl shoots at Maxine, who ducks, and the recoil of the shotgun
Sends her
blows
flying.
her back, and she breaks her hip.
She got her back blown.
Yeah,
For
she
sure.
did. For the second time.
Wow, I knew that was coming.
So did she. So then, at the start of the movie, there was this, I guess, like televangelist broadcast
Oh,
shown
yeah, I
at
want
the.
to talk about him. He's all through the movie.
Yeah. So this broadcast is like layered throughout the movie, and you mostly hear it, but right as Maxine starts to leave and gets into the car, you see the rest of it play out on in their TV, and you find out that Maxine is the daughter of a preacher, this televangelist that you've been hearing, and that
He's been preaching about sin.
has been preaching about sin. And of course, she's been listening to this.
Yeah, they lace it through the entire film right from the very beginning. It's
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
in the
Even when-
the living room when the cops come in.
Yeah,
It's
and
just-
it's even
running.
too. It's at like the gas station.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on all the time.
So
Yeah. And then it's shown he has a picture of Maxine in his little preaching thing,
yeah,
and then she's driving off.
It's Frank. It's
she,
only.
does, she does run over Pearl on
Can
her
we
way
roll
out.
back to Pearl for a second? Because Pearl
She
gets
did
her
roll back.
head
She
run
ran
over.
She
Oh,
ran
yeah.
her over. She rolled over her. She rolled
That
back.
head went splat
Yeah,
like a cantaloupe.
that was fun.
Ooh.
I mean, what? Sure. But yeah, that is the end. She drives off
The
towards
end.
LA.
The end.
But unlike Texas Chainsaw, she actually drove off.
Yeah.
Pearl comes out with a broken hip, like swinging.
And that is X. That is Ty West's X.
Ty West's ex.
And
to
unlike
give it to
Texas
ya.
Chainsaw, it doesn't
I
end
will.
with Leatherface
microphone.
wielding
Dancing.
his chainsaw and dancing to opera. We didn't get that shot.
Oh,
Travis
then it
is
ends. It ends with the police. No, police.
Yeah, it ends-
comes
it-
back to the house, or not comes back, but
It's
comes to the
never
house.
arriving.
What is the last line? The sheriff says something like,
So they find
"That's one
the
nasty murder scene" or whatever.
they find the
the tape.
The
porno
cam.
tape, and he's like, "What do you reckon is on it?" And he's like, "One goddamn fucked up horror picture."
There you
I
go.
think that part was in the Red Band trailer.
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
Very
That's
nice.
a really cool way to end that trailer. And yeah, so that's the end. And then if you stay after the credits,
There's nothing.
there's huh?
No,
What?
you get Pearl.
You get the trailer for Pearl.
Oh, I didn't
We
see
saw
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I remember that, but
I just shut down
Do,
when the
do they
credits hit.
still do they have it on the video release?
I think so.
I don't know. I saw
Probably,
it on
right?
the thing, but I didn't see. I watched the whole thing. It wasn't on there.
Oh, okay. Well then, whatever.
You're the one that did
But
it.
yeah, that's how you found out. They were like, "Hey, guess what? We
It was a
actually
surprise,
we
yeah.
shot a prequel at the same time,
Yeah.
and it's coming out this year." And everyone's like, "Whoa!"
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
You said Red Band trailer.
Yes.
Can they show Red Band trailers for movies that are rated less than R?
No.
No. Okay.
Come,
I just found out about these, by the way.
Really?
That's how backward I am.
We love Red Band
I was
trailers.
saying-
Everyone's like,
that-
"Ooh, Red Band."
Scream 6, and
Uh-huh.
the trailer came. I was with Brian, and the trailer came out, and Brian goes, "Oh, there's a Red Band trailer." And I was like, "I'm
There's a
sorry.
different
Well,
color.
you
it for?
also
I'm sorry. What did you say?" He goes, "Red Band trailer." I'm
Evil
like,
Dead?
What does that mean? It means they can show you crap and say bad words. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
cool.
Did you everyone notice too that like in the title cards now, like the rating cards, it just says MPA now, not
Yeah,
they got rid of the second A.
MPAA?
I
so-
did not notice that.
Yeah, so yeah,
It's been a while, no?
So did they? Yeah, it's been a little while. It's been
What
a
does
while.
MPAA
Oh.
mean? What's the extra A mean?
The Association of America, Motion
Yeah,
Picture.
the Motion Picture
America.
Association of America.
So now it's just Motion Picture America.
We're not getting to this. We're not getting to this. So okay,
Anyway, so that's the end of the movie.
hold on, really quick, Frank and Travis. Since you guys have seen Pearl,
Yes.
when you rewatch this, for me it was hard to like separate.
Oh yeah. No,
Because we're just talking about X, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, this reminds me of Pearl. Oh, I get why
That's-
Pearl did this. Was it hard for you guys?
No, I
It
wouldn't say
wasn't for me, just
Well,
to throw that in.
hey,
Thank
well,
you.
He,
Thank
he,
you.
like, actually, the character couldn't get hard because he'd get a heart attack.
Travis, I'm done with you.
I think the thing that I found most interesting was that it all felt cohesive.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Seeing like going back to watch it, it was like, oh, I understand why this is happening.
Right.
This is cool. I like this
Yeah.
callback. So I'm really excited for Maxine. I want to see where they go from there because you can't go back to the farmhouse now.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like, for this podcast.
Oh yeah. For specifically for this, it wasn't hard to. It wasn't hard to
Disassociate?
disassociate.
You know,
For me, it was.
It was hard too because, like I said, it was me watching it, and like I don't know if it was just when I said, oh, they were putting all the pieces. I was like, well, I don't necessarily think they're putting all the pieces for the end. I'm like, no, they're putting all the pieces for the prequel. Like I said, when she's talking, when Pearl's talking to Maxine, and it's like, oh yeah, like. My husband, he went through this world war. He went through this one. He'll do anything for me. I feel like it was really setting it up. And like I said, you can tell that, like, hey, like when Ty West wanted to make X, he obviously had all 3 films planned out, like everything. It wasn't
didn't,
him.
though.
Oh, really?
Maxine
No.
came after. He had
So-
X and
He wrote X, and then while they were doing X, him and Mia Goth were talking about Pearl's backstory,
Oh,
and that's
that's
where,
cool.
yeah. So they were already down there, and so they asked A24. They're like, "Hey, we have this idea for a prequel. Can we just shoot it?" So I
they
think
filmed it back to back.
they filmed it back to back. I think they took like a week off or something, and
That-
then. Yeah, they redid everything, revitalized the farmhouse, and then they filmed the prequel.
That's cool because, and like I said, it feels like, because like I said, Pearl, it just kind of fits in so naturally. Like I said, it doesn't feel like it was an afterthought of
Yeah.
them being like, hey, we made this movie. Now at the beginning of Pearl, at the beginning of this next movie, we have to like tie everything together
Yeah.
and come up with scenes. It's like, no, it felt very natural from watching X. I was like, oh, okay, cool, I get it.
You know, this is really cool that we're talking about a movie I haven't seen.
Well, that's a personal problem. Anyways,
so can we not talk about Pearl anymore?
just take a seat back.
The character
was
of the
sup-
movie.
I don't know which is which.
I was surprised
Okay.
to find out that Cuddy executive
Produced this?
produced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I have a question.
Yes.
And this is such a lame question, but I just don't know the answer, and I didn't
Who's
know when I
Pearl?
was watching the
Who's
movie.
Kid Cudi?
Who's the guy in the basement? Who
Oh,
was
they
it?
never
We don't know.
referenced it.
Oh, so I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
No, they show you a shot of the guy.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what? There was a
Who's
missing.
the guy in the cellar?
There was a missing when Kid Cudi was drinking the milk. There was a missing person's on next to the milk carton, so that could have been him.
That's gonna be another. That's gonna
'Cause
be.
I kept going,
That's gonna be
That
why.
doesn't look like anybody that was in the movie.
Yeah.
He was the one boy that was not brought to the yard.
The
Gotcha.
milkshake.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. I was like, what is
I will
Okay,
also
so-
say that I think it's funny that Howard. It's fucked up to say, but I think it's funny that Howard and Pearl were essentially killed in like the way that you would figure that old people would be killed. One broke their hip and one got a heart attack. I think that was on purpose.
Actually, that is funny. I didn't think about that. That is absolutely funny.
If only they had life
Very
alert.
appropriate.
If only Howard had life alert
That,
or Pearl.
I've broken my hip and I can't
I
get
can't
up.
get. Don't look at the dead bodies when you come in. Ignore them. Save me, please. Pick me up. Do not ignore the dead bodies. I didn't do anything. Because that's when she's telling.
What are you talking
He's
about?
He's doing a bit.
No, because she presses.
When is he never?
She presses
When
life
is-
alert,
yeah.
so the paramedics are coming.
That
so they're
mood,
like,
though.
never mind.
Your mood right now.
No, I get it now.
You
It's
get it
funny.
now. So it's
That's
yeah.
funny.
So,
So
Dan, what did you think of the movie?
Could we do final thoughts,
What did you
I
think?
guess? Are we doing
Yes.
final thoughts and ratings? I'm starting?
X
Yeah,
final
because
thoughts.
you didn't want to talk about Pearl, so you haven't seen it. So you gotta start this next conversation.
Okay. I don't mind. I feel like I'm probably not going to be in line with the rest of you
Mute him.
because
We'll
I think
see.
like Sam already is like being very hostile towards me because I said anything negative about this movie, which is
I give
not
it-
a 5.
A
give it
negative.
2.
A negative.
I actually really
Film
liked
negative.
the first 57 minutes. I thought the front end of that movie, I thought it was really good. And
You'll like Pearl then.
a super slow burn, which I really enjoyed. I loved the
you'll
opening
love Pearl.
and how it just sort of made me go, okay, bad stuff is going to happen. And bad stuff did happen. I just felt like, and I guess I'm getting schooled in how these movies work, which doesn't make it okay or make
Well,
me think it's okay
Dan,
that's how it
Dan,
happens. So you have to
have you-
accept
have
it.
you
I
ever-
don't believe in that.
Have you ever thought maybe you just don't
loses-
like
Let him
Excuse me,
finish.
I'm talking. I'm going to put you in the corner.
That's me in the corner.
So I just would have liked a little more to once the killing starts. I just felt like it was just okay. We're just killing everybody. There was just no resistance. There was no story anymore. There was nothing. Not that the killing wasn't. Some of it was pretty cool, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
But I guess I just sort of, losing interest is not the right word. I did not lose interest because I was totally like, oh my God. But when it was over, I looked back on it, I went, wow, this movie just sort of ended once the killing started. There was no more storytelling. And now we're just doing this.
So it's
So
abrupt.
Leslie
it did
Vernon.
it definitely made me lower my score for sure.
What was it before?
If I would have ended the movie 57 minutes in, I would probably give it a 4,
Nice. So what is it now?
2.9.
Oh my God.
Whoa, that shot way down.
It's shot down. I'm sorry.
Dan doesn't like
it's not
slashers.
good
I can't sit
it's
across from
not
you
good
anymore. Try
not-
to switch with me.
It's not good storytelling after that happens.
I'm
It's
sorry,
just not.
Dad's home. You
And
can't
if
come
that's the
inside.
rules of those movies, and that's the way it is, then you're going to get a lot of these scores out of me because I don't feel like these other movies we've talked about have done that. This is the one that's done it by far the most.
Hold on. We've watched Halloween. That has a lot more killing.
Yeah, but it's killing all throughout the movie.
Dan, not everything could be
This-
Christmas Vacation.
Well, that's true.
I think the one edge that Halloween has, though, especially the one that we watched, is that the kills are a little extreme and creative. So it kind of gives it a little edge. And it was also the first like
But there
big
were
slasher
chases.
he
All there
was.
were
Movies
chases,
like,
yeah.
even
Yeah,
like the
that's
bad
true.
ones, like Valentine, you're getting kills all through the movie.
Yeah,
They're not just all happening in the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Wow, we
he's saying that it was
We messed him up.
backloaded.
No, but think about what other movie have we seen that's been like this?
Oh, just wait.
No,
We'll
I'm
see.
just saying though.
Right,
We
but
haven't.
I feel like yeah,
So if
it's
this is the way it's going to be, then you're going to
think-
get this complaint from me every time. You have to do. You can't just stop telling this story just because it's now time to kill everybody.
I think I get what he's saying.
No, I don't get it.
We don't get it because you're being way protective of this
And
movie.
now Sam's gonna go.
'Cause you
We're
saw
gonna.
it on
I'm
your
gonna see him.
birthday.
I want
But
to see the
it's just-
contrasting.
I don't. Again, I thought the front end was really, really good.
I did too.
That's not a complaint about the movie overall. That's just a complaint about
The storytelling.
well, or just
You know what?
the end of storytelling.
Now that I think about it, like even with VHS, because he did a segment called Second Honeymoon, it kind of started off like really slow burn as well, and then just switches over to just killing.
Insanity.
What are you talking about?
There's this movie called VHS. It's an anthology.
Anthology.
It's throbbing.
Something's throbbing.
Anthropology.
The story, yes.
Yeah.
So then it's now you've lost my train of thought. His segments called, they have different segments. One of them's called Second Honeymoon. So it's like a horror movie, but it's pretty gruesome. So his stuff is about this couple that went on a trip. And
It's
yeah,
like found footage.
But
found footage.
let me ask you a question. I have not seen Strangers, but that's not like that, right?
The Strangers?
The Strangers? That's not like this.
It's a different. It's not.
I've
It's
never
a
seen
way
it.
different
You're
style.
in from the
or-
beginning.
Wait, have you seen The Strangers?
No, I haven't. I've
No?
heard it's really good, though.
I haven't seen it.
I like it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I've heard it's actually really good.
It's also a really slow burn, but it's I would say it's not like this
It's a
at all.
very different type of horror.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away, but it's good. It's good. It's very enjoyable.
It's horrific.
I will tell you, though, to be fair, I would definitely recommend this movie if people like this kind of, like, want to see
Yeah.
Porn?
a slasher kind of movie. For
If you
sure.
like porn, yeah.
I
No,
would
his friend
definitely
does.
I would definitely tell people to see it if they like movies like this, for sure, because it's actually very well made.
The filmmaking is really good.
Really well made. And I thought the casting was really great, and the acting was really great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would say I'll give it 4. What are we giving it? What did I say?
I thought you said 2.9.
No, I'm gonna split it up, to be fair. I'll give it 4 glasses of lemonade for the first 57 minutes. 2.9 glasses of lemonade out of 5 for the last, what is that, 30? How long was the movie?
An hour 46.
So whatever. Whatever that is. Last 30 minutes, last 25 minutes.
It's like the last 30. Like you said.
So anyway, that's mine.
Nice.
Cool.
But
I feel like Sam and I are
opposite,
never going to speak
complete
again.
opposite.
Sam,
Of
how many
course, you're gonna
5 out
give
of
it 5
5s
out
are
of
you going to give it?
5. You're going to think it's the best movie you've ever
So,
seen.
Act 1.
It changed my life.
I know I'm going to be the outlier here for sure.
Well, I mean, I love this movie. I think, from someone who loves Texas Chainsaw, I think it paid a great homage to it. So I really liked it. I like that they had a lot of classic horror tropes, but never really fully played it out, but always gave it a unique spin. So it's always refreshing. I think the cinematography is also refreshing, but also kind of like another kind of homage to the 70s, which I appreciated. He definitely delivered on the demented stuff, which I also I liked. And there was some stuff that made my skin crawl, not just the killing, but the old people having sex.
Yeah, old people are gross. I
Yeah.
agree.
That stuff was crazy.
Can I say I watched this movie with my mother?
Holy
great.
crap.
She wanted to see because she started out watching Pearl. I'm like, no, watch X first, and I forgot what was in it. So I'm
There's
saying,
a lot of X.
There's a lot of X.
I thought you were going to say porn instead of Pearl. I was like, wait, what?
Like, hey, mom, that's you like horror movies, right? But yeah,
Perfect.
I will actually give it a 3.95 cartons of milk out of 5.
That's good.
Nice.
That's not.
I think that's fair.
I get that. I thought you're going 5.5 for sure.
No,
For the first 3 acts.
yeah, the last one though,
That's fair. I
Yeah.
don't think we're that far apart.
we are
No, you guys are literally like right across from each other.
not anymore.
Travis.
So, when taken at a critical level.
Oh my
I'm just kidding. No, so this film, it
I don't
it
know.
was definitely a different viewing experience, and I'm glad we covered this because there's a joke in there somewhere. Because
We're
the
waiting.
first time we
We're not.
watched it, like I said, it was
Yeah, like you said, he didn't
was almost
enjoy
like-
it
No, I
because
did. No,
he
I
didn't like that we were talking all
No,
throughout,
I
and he
didn't
doesn't like
say
watching
that. I'm
movies with his
saying-
friends.
I said I had a lot of fun. Like I had fun because we were, and like I said, we were not being obnoxious. It was just it was different. It was almost like you were kind of watching
was
the
there.
movie. I know it was fun. Now I'm
sorry.
saying
It was her
is
birthday. I'm
I
pretty sure
want-
she was
so
there.
seeing it. Okay, I'm just gonna skip past that whole thing. I wanted to,
Thank God. All right.
Okay.
What's your
What
score?
did you think of the movie?
I'm getting to that. So I think kind of like Sam, how you said it. I really liked how the film. It definitely is like an homage to 70s horror, but it's like you almost don't want to say an homage. You're like, it is 70s horror.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Right.
And I feel like it's interesting the way to it. It kind of it explores like voyeurism, but it puts the two genres together with voyeurism, where you have horror and you have like porn, and you kind of just put them together. So I like that. I appreciate it. This film,
He loves porn.
a lot of
That's what I
themes.
heard.
You have it brings up the themes of people aging, losing relevance. I feel like there's a lot going on in the first half. Dan,
No, I'm listening.
no, but I'm saying
Someone has to.
Is anyone here right
I just
now?
realized I could average out
I'm in
my
the
score. If I did a 4 for the first 57 minutes and a 2.9, it's actually a 3.4.
Dan,
There
you know
you
it's
go.
That's
Dan,
not bad, right?
That's
Dan,
not bad.
it's very rude to interrupt people when they're talking.
Okay, sorry.
No,
you're right.
it's-
I apologize.
I liked it. I'm not gonna compare it to Pearl because we're not doing it. I'm not gonna say which one I like better. But if I had to,
But he'll say it.
No, if at the end of the day, giving this film this rating, I will give it 3.6.
I'm not that far off.
Just
can,
wait,
can,
Dan.
can I make it even closer? 3.69. No, I'm gonna give it.
Whoa! I see what you did there.
I'm gonna give it 3.6.
9. Do it. You gotta do it. 9.
3.69.
Do it.
Now this is gonna sound weird. Now 3.69 farmers' daughters.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, keep that. That's fine.
Yeah, 3.6.
You
yeah.
do like porn, so.
I don't. What is that? I don't know
Are
what
you
that
a
is.
porn guy?
I don't know what that is.
Don't do that.
I don't know what that is. I don't know.
I don't either. I think it's an
I thought that
acronym
was
for
just made.
something.
I thought that was just made up for
People
this.
on
Wait,
This movie is very creative.
people
writing.
people on respiratory narcotics.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Yes,
That's
I
what
agree.
porn means. So what did you say? 3.69.
Yeah, out
Yeah.
of 5.
Okay.
Nice.
It's groovy, man. All right, Frank, tell us why we're all wrong.
All right, so I'm going to start by reviewing The Farmer's Daughter first. I think is a
Daughter
porn.
is
He has an essay
excellent
on it.
porn
He has
premise.
an essay.
There's a je ne sais quoi about this porn movie. I feel like it elevates the entire genre.
The overalls.
Yes.
They mean more than just overalls.
I gotta. So I've said it before in this
Say it
very
again.
episode, but I think the filmmaking involved with this movie is like top notch. Lots of really good decisions on the technical side. I do agree. It is a little lopsided towards the end, but not in a way that bothers me. It's just like, I guess because I was so enveloped in the movie, I didn't even realize it was like 57 minutes before the first kill. But that criticism of the kills being a little like not to the level of like where I'm good with creative kills. It wasn't quite there. The alligator kill really saves it in that aspect. But overall, the acting is cool. The music is good. The shots, all that stuff is good. If I would have, and the comedy is really funny too. If I would
Stay in
have
your
to
lane.
give it a score, I would have to give it.
Well, you would have to give it a score. That's what we do
Well,
here.
how about no, Dan? Now I won't give
How
it a
about
score.
no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Okay, so score-wise, I'm gonna give it because I like to be contrarian. I can give it 1. No, I'm gonna give it 4.
Yeah.
Naked pearls, gently caressing Maxine out of 5.
Aw.
Wow. That's icky, Frank.
But,
Yeah, that's
you
a
know,
lot of
Frank,
pearls.
That's a lot of
Frank,
caressing.
lot of
I-
ickiness.
Bloody caressing.
I'm gonna agree with you, Frank. Like, I don't. Like I said, even though we could have made it could have been a little better, like some of the kills at the end and how the movie kind of just loses interest. I feel like I didn't annoy me, and I know we spent a lot of time talking about it as when we did Leslie Vernon. Remember that one? How we just said that movie just completely died.
Yeah.
That
Would it
was
be
for
bad?
different reasons. That was a mock documentary that
But
lost its way.
That's
That
what
had
I'm
nothing
saying.
to do
Well,
with
that's
the
what I'm saying
kills.
is
That had to do with the storytelling.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying is I didn't
know?
feel like the movie lost its way. Like I didn't feel like it was that
I didn't feel like it lost its way. I just said it didn't.
just the abrupt change.
story it stopped telling a story.
I mean, no.
No. I mean, I think the movie did exactly what it intended to do, and I say that
So
because
update your score, please.
If I think I already mathed it out, right? I gave
So
a 4
let's
for the
start from
first
Act
half.
1.
But
Let's go back to the
Act
beginning.
1, I give a 5. No, I think that it just. And this is, if I'm being told that, hey, this is what they do, these kind of movies can do that, then it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And maybe if after I see a handful more of these kind of movies, I'll go, okay, I can, reassess my feelings about it. I just felt it kind of dropped off the edge all of a sudden and said, okay, we have no more storytelling, and we're just going to start killing everybody.
And we're at a podcast.
If I didn't respect you this much, I feel like I would leave right now.
Oh, I'm glad you
Angrily.
We'll see you all next
enough
week.
to stay in my house.
Please
Thank you very much.
listen.
I'm not done. So, how you guys said about like the killings being not that creative, I think the fact that the way it was shot saved it.
Yeah.
And you
yeah, I
said that,
agree.
but I agree with you. That's it. Okay.
It was shot
I agree
really
with you,
well.
agree
with
really
me.
well.
You know,
I like that.
You know,
I
listen,
agree- you agree with my agreements.
Sam, Frank, I know we talked about this a lot, but I agree with what you're saying. Go on. Sorry.
I agree though. I don't feel like that the kills were like boring or anything. I was fine with the kills. And maybe because of the way they were shot. There was
Watch
just
100,000
really-
more slashers, and I think you'll agree, Dan.
Okay. All right, I'll get back to you in about 4 years.
We do
Thank
have
you.
a podcast about slashers.
Do we? What's it called?
It's called Strangers in the Alps, a
called
slasher
Here and There.
podcast.
I'm Dan.
I'm Travis.
I'm Sam.
No.
And he's Frank. And what are we watching next week, Mr. Frank?
Next week, we are watching Hell House LLC.
Limited
That- you know
liability
what?
company.
You wanted to watch more slashers. Here you go.
Yeah.
Hell House LLC?
I haven't
Yes.
seen it, but I've
What,
heard of it.
What year did it
You-
come
have
out?
you really seen it?
2015.
Which
Yeah,
Hell
it's
House am I
first
going to be
time.
watching?
Not The Haunting of Hell House.
That's Hill House, but whatever. The Haunting of Hill House.
Gold.
Wow.
No, it's Hell House.
It's
in,
The
in
Haunting
the context
of Hill
Scary,
House.
In the context of Scary Movie 2. But
So it's Hell House
LLC.
LLC from
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah.
Hey,
Watch
if anybody
the-
out
no.
there's like me, you can't wait to see this movie.
wait, theatrical or directors?
I've
I don't
never
know.
seen directors.
I haven't
If
either.
they're
Can
Can we
directors,
just watch
fine.
theatrical then?
Because we have both versions. That's
Oh,
why
we
I just
do?
wanted to
Then I
make
don't
sure.
care. Whichever.
Let's do theatrical.
I feel like the director's cut will be longer.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I need longer.
Theatrical, yeah.
Yeah, we got longer during X. We don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stay in your lane,
Sam,
Frank.
I'm changing my score. I thought it was a 5. There you go. I'm done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What-
I
what-
want you to
Farmer's
be my
Daughters,
friend.
he gives a 5.
I'm
Nice.
giving that
Daughter.
movie a 5
All right,
because
that's fine.
I feel like we fell off. Our friendship fell off for a second. So
I'm so sad.
This
All
is
right,
based on
well,
lies.
I will
Well-
change. I will change my score just to revive our friendship. Join us next week for another episode of Strangers in the Alps, a slasher podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Travis.
Guys, did you see that shadow?
What was that?
Are we expecting somebody?
I didn't know people came to this cabin.
I'm not getting the door.
Not me. Not it.
Fuck.
Wait, I didn't say not it. Shit.
Not it.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna die, aren't I?
We're departing now.
Well, I feel safe.
Everyone put on your seatbelt.
And where do you work, Mr. Pilot?
Hi, I'm a pilot.